So thank you so much, Queen Silvia of Sweden, because your works, your important works to defend children and teenagers around the world, here in Europe, and in Latin America, in Brazil too. Thank you so much. Well, I will explain to you. It's about to Linda Carter. So kisses, Linda. You are my superhero. You were my superhero when I was a child, Wonder Woman. It was very important to me to know a woman can be a superhero. Thank you so much. It was so important to my imaginary when I was a child, and continuing right now when we have the gal Gadot doing the same again. Very beautiful. Well, it's about children and teenagers, but it's about women too, and I explain it to you because other videos we are confronting, especially in the movement Time's Up, this important issue at courts. What do you do? What do you do when you have crimes without witnesses, and you have crimes without physical evidences? Without evidence, forensic sciences don't have concrete evidences. Only the own victim. The victim speaks about the experience, and you need to conduct the case at court. So it's a real challenge. It's my interest in this area, foreign science, and I will explain in details, okay? Yes, here in Portugal, as I explained it before, I am a little up to because I was a student at University of Porto, UP, up in Portuguese. So I am part in this university. I learned a lot about here the system in Europe, but not only, the models around the world, how to protect women and the victims in general, because in foreign science you have two main areas. You produce evidence, you find the evidence, you look in the space, in the criminal scene or crime scene, to find evidences to protect the innocents first, and second, to find the criminal. So it's very important to protect the innocents, okay? Because if you produce false evidences, you will generate a real problem. You generate a real problem to innocent people, okay, included in this case in the crimes without witnesses. When the victim is the only witness of himself or herself, you are condemned this victim to a terrible situation at courts. So yes, well, look at this presentation. Can you see? la legitimidade de la justicia, la intervención de la justicia de menores. Professor Doutora Maria José Bernús, Universidad de Zaragoza, España. So it was a presentation 2018 here in Portugal. This researcher, this professor, told us about the real challenge in this area here in Europe too. So yes, for example, I started to think about it in Brazil, because you have the statement of innocence. Everybody's innocent until you prove the opposite. So in the case of children, I saw Jude in Dubio pro Infans. In Dubio pro Infans. It's my statement. We need to change the judicial system to protect the children and the minors in the cases where we don't have the evidences of crime, but there are doubts. There are doubts because the witness, the child, or the adolescent or the woman speaks. Yes, happened a crime. So what you do when you have doubts? You need to protect the innocents, included the alleged victim. Okay? Well, here in Portugal it's an important area of studies to look at it. This recent project, European Community, call for proposals to prevent and combat all forms of violence against children and young people and women, with millions of euros to researchers interested to aprimorate the system here and in Europe, included support to authorities, child protection safeguard policies, capacity building for specialists, forensic interviewers for child victims of violence, trainees and in-service specialist practitioners. Well, you see here in Europe, they are very concerned in this issue, how to develop a real judicial system to protect the innocents. So, of course, you think the children are innocent. Okay, you don't think you are 4 years old and you are doing crimes. Of course, I'm laughing because there are people have doubt about it. Okay. In USA, you have a forensic nurse. In USA, it's very strong in USA. A forensic nurse, and they are distributed in hospitals. And when there is a crime, especially sexual crimes, the hospital call them and they go to the hospital and collect the data, or they are part of organized systems where the victims, the policy system send the victims. So this first moment when the victims of crimes, they they are received the special treatment at hospitals and healthcare system, okay, to collect the evidence, of course, to do physical exams. These nurses do it, or doctors or physicians, and this data are used at court, and the person don't need to be many exams. So these first evidences are considered proof at courts, okay? But in Brazil, we don't have the system so organized. We have nurses working in this area, as here in Portugal and many other countries in Europe, but it's not so organized as in USA. But nurses work too, and doctors work too in this area, especially the nurses and doctors who are part of a police system, okay? But not so real distributed inside the countries. We need to change it, because the crime can occur in any place in the country, not only in special areas when you have the specialized professionals, okay? So we need to spread the news, spread the information to many other professions, okay? Especially the professionals who work at ER, emergency room. Very important to develop this area to collect the first evidences, because after hours you can lose material, biological material, and physical evidences were not clear, were not possible to rescue. So very important this first moments we have at hospitals and healthcare. Well, here in Portugal, my professors, thank you, kisses to you, they know my intentions, they know my previous works and my intentions about other works here. It's about the ethical system, you know, ethical. And I did this presentation here, University of Porto, active factors inside the testimony interviews and forensic reports. So this was a presentation I did here to specialists inside the congress. When I was I attended a congress, okay? So my professors know my main research area interest is about these ethical aspects, to listen the victims and establish the nexus of causality in this first reports, healthcare reports, the victims. So yes, and I sent two other projects too about I